नित्यानन्द श्रीवासुदेव नित्यानन्द मधुसूदना हरे माधव मधुसूदना हरे माधव मधुसूदना हरे माधव मधुसूदना हरे माधव श्रीवासुदेव नित्यानन्द 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 मधुसूदना हरे माधव मधुसूदना हरे माधव श्रीवासुदेव नित्यानन्द.
Before coming to Gurukul, I attended engineers in Haridwar. So there, actually, I went there and I was not in the mood that I want to go back to home. But even after engineers, I will go back. In that context, I just went in the sake of my parents told. So I just spend time and go back home. Because of that, I went there even during the engineers class, and the class is going on. I will not listen to the class at all. Around 18 days, the total engineers program is around 21 days. 18 days I didn't listen. I'll be just sitting, and I will not eat any food because I don't like any food there. I will not do anything. I'll be just like one person just sitting and dreaming there or doing something. I'll be just sitting like that. So after 18 days, I really the some click after the satsang when Swami spoke and all the 18 days darshan which Swamiji gave, some click came on me. Just I'll try to listen to the class. Once the last 3 days I listened to the class. Only after 18 days, the past 3 days I listened to the class. Just in 3 days, when I listened to the class authentically, I was able to get the right context for me to what is life. I was just thinking life is just I will just enjoy, and my life is just Maya. I'll just in Maya. I don't think that I am part of spirituality. I'll just be roaming around there and there. But after the engineers, when I listened only for 3 days, I got the right context, and because that context which I got only, I was able to come to Gurukul itself.
Even if you have no context, even if you have no listening, somehow if you make it to inner awakening for kids or inner awakening for adults, then naturally that will set the right context and get you the right listening also.
There'll be a sage, okay? So when he was walking, there'll be a man sleeping under the tree, okay? At that time, what happens is, when you're sleeping, there'll be a snake which enters his mouth. Knowing this, the sage actually goes, takes the mud from the ground, takes the rotten apple which is there on the ground, he stuffs inside that man's mouth. But the man doesn't understand what he is doing. He'll start cursing that sage and what he is doing. He'll be pushing and like throwing his anger without knowing what the sage is doing. But finally, when all the mud, everything went into his stomach, and when he vomited, including the snake came out, then he understood what he actually did, from which context he did. So I think that whatever action you are doing, it depends upon the right context, which brings you karma zero, is what I feel.
What I feel is yes, because Swamiji told the essence of this Upanishads is just deciding for life. And Swamiji also told in the Upanishad, they clearly declare, not only in the future or in the present you'll be complete, even the past you are always complete. Unlike the Yoga Sutras and the other sutras, only the Upanishads can declare that even in your past you are always complete. So by living that always saying yes to life, you can complete your past also.
Nityanandam, we welcome you to yet another episode of Vakyartha Sadas by the sons and the disciples of Swami Paramahamsa Nityananda. Today's topic for discussion is saying yes to life. Existence always gives you what you want.
See, even though we have seen the Master doing the miracles so many times to so many people, still unconsciously we verbalize, and the inner chatter takes you to a certain level, and unconsciously we speak something different, and that is what we need to catch. I have a personal experience that I want to share. This was during the Himalayas trip, and I have been having glasses for a long time, since then, when I met him, for a long time, over 1.5 decades at that time, 15 years. So I'm a habitual user of glasses, and Rishikesh, we had this snan, Ganga snan, first thing that we do, and was playing around, and I lost my glasses in the Ganga. So the next day morning, I was responsible for putting people in one group of people who came from US in the buses, and I was trying to do that, and to do that I had to read the list, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm almost blind without the glasses. I was trying to read the list. We were sitting in that ashram in Rishikesh, and we were having breakfast, and I was at the far end of the courtyard, and Swamiji was playfully, like he indulges himself, he was serving breakfast to people. He was serving some upma or something with a ladle, and he saw me at a distance at the other end of the courtyard doing, trying to read and doing. He said, "Hey, what are you doing? What is that?" Then I said, "Swami, I lost my glasses, I am not able to read, please do something." Then he said, "Come here." I went near, and he took the ladle he was serving the upma with and gave one bonk on my head. And then tada, then I was able to read after that. The list was, I said, "Thank you, Swamiji." And I saw the list I was able to read. Not only that list, but also I'm not so good at reading the Devanagari Lipi. There you get the Hindi newspaper. During the next 6 hours of the bus journey, I did my complete business of allocating, helping people and all that. That work is done. After that, I was even able to read the newspaper so well. I'm not very familiar with the Hindi Lipi, the Devanagari Lipi, but I'm able to do it. All that went on well. Then we went to one place, the next place, Srinagar or one place we went. As soon as we reached that place, I got a thought, oh, I can buy a new pair of glasses here. The moment I thought I can buy a new pair of glasses, I was not able to read again. Just it disappeared. Again, when I went to the doctor, again the sight was so and so. He quickly measured it and did it. It's a miracle in getting it done very quickly. Uttarkashi, actually. But that 6-hour period was a miracle period for me. Very clearly, when I asked for help, I got it. And then when I cognized, okay, I need glasses, I got the need for the glasses. So, near to Swamiji, whatever you want gets accentuated. That just happens, like we were discussing the other day, many more times, multi times. So, the power of the blessing and initiation is just very strong. We just need to ask the right things and verbalize the right things inside, deep inside. That's what I feel. And then the power can immediately be seen.
The physical illness brings you to a mental state where you feel it's going to be there with you forever. Even though it may be a slight pain, stomach pain, headache, the physical pain always brings you to a state where it says, oh my God, what if I never get healed of it? Always that thought comes up. And I think that is where we kind of start, especially if it's going to be a pain where you really suffer so much, like arthritis, right? Because the impact of it on us is more. The impact of that thought on it is also more. What if I never get healed of it? So we start thinking in cycles of, oh, what if I never get healed? Will it get worse day by day? Will I not be able to move? Will I start depending on somebody? That thought current kind of pulls us into that. We get pulled into the thought current before even we realize that we are going in that path. So I think whenever there is a physical pain, this current has higher existence in our inner space. That is why more and more we get sucked into it, which is when we really need to come out complete. As Tejas Swami said, completion is the solution at that time, to say be very conscious and aware and not to give priority to that thought current.